You have to separate the artist from the artist. And so, because if you don't, then, you know.
Turturro Posteritati.
Yeah, this guy says my name perfectly. Turturro. He says, see, that's how you say my name. I'm John Turturro, and I am a movie and poster addict. I'm not a recovering addict. I'm actually an ongoing addict. I spend a lot of time here, as Sam knows. The first poster that I chose is from the Polish poster, which is a great poster of Midnight Cowboy, which actually I think captures a lot of the original book that Midnight Cowboy is based on. It's actually darker, and it really goes into that whole subculture world of, you know, male hustlers. This is a film that came out in 1969, 70. It won Best Picture. It was rated X, and it came out, and I was 12, so I could not go see this movie, but I did see a clip of it, different clips of it on the Academy Awards. And I remember I was really shocked when I saw Dustin Hoffman. I had not seen The Graduate. It had come out first. For some reason, I saw it after that. And when I saw Dustin Hoffman, I was freaked out because I thought, wow, this guy looks like someone from my family, you know, and he's an actor. And I don't know what happened, but it definitely opened something up in my brain about, oh, wow, you know, look at this guy. He doesn't look like all these other people. I actually have this poster in my house. I bought it from John LaHood, who ran the Academy Movie Theater in New Paltz. I was a freshman in New Paltz. I bought it for $1. $1 I bought it. All the posters he would give me for $1. And I still have it framed, box framed. I went down to New York for the opening day of Taxi Driver with Michael Badalucco, who was an upperclassman at New Paltz, and we drove down and we got tickets for the first show at the Baronet, the Coronet. I think it was the Baronet, and we sat in the first row at 12 o'clock. I saw the first showing for the public of Taxi Driver. And I remember when I saw the movie, I came out, I felt like my shoes were like blowing off, and I was barefoot when I came out. Well, I used to have arguments when I saw the movie with people, and if they didn't like the movie, I thought, well, my friendship sort of was in jeopardy, you know what I mean? And I can understand maybe why they didn't like it now, but at that time, it was just, it had such a grip on me. And once I went to see it at the Thalia, and it was a Mohawk night. This was a couple years later. And anyone with a Mohawk could get in for free. And of course, I didn't have a Mohawk. And I think I paid $1 or something like that. And I'm sitting, and you know, I don't know if the Thalia used to, it didn't go this way. It went like this way. It was like you were down. And all these guys in army jackets and Mohawks were in there. And I realized, I said, you know, I think I should sit close to the exit because anything could happen. They were just all guys. There was not a woman in there, and they had Mohawks. And I remember that. I was thinking, like, maybe I should see this movie at a safer, you know, a movie theater. I did make it through the whole thing. I think that's Bob at his greatest, actually. You know, I mean, he's done a lot of great performances, but I don't think anything's been better than that. I mean, even those cowboy boots are fantastic. You know, I think he has Paul Schrader's belt, and I think maybe his boots too. It's just everything works. It's like the cab is like a crab. It's like a moving crab, and he gets out of it. He's got this walk, you know, and so yeah, that's a great poster. It captures something about relationships that when people do connect, they sort of complete each other. And that's something that I always think is so interesting in life. And even when actors work together, if they actually have they create or chemistry actually happens between them. And in this case, they were on the island of Faro. You know, Bergman, of course, famously was always involved with all these different actresses. I think Bibi escaped him most of the time, but he lived with Liv Ullmann. They had children, and they're both fantastic actresses. Fantastic. You just don't see something like this. Usually, it's like someone gives a tour de force at the expense of someone else. But this is about the relationship, what happens between them, and it's very rare. And I think this poster captures sort of the erotic happening between them, but also her sort of taking care of her, you know. Anyway, it's a great film, and that really captures the feeling of the film, the sensibilità of the film. This is a fantastic movie. They remade the movie. Bob Fosse was obsessed with it, with Sweet Charity, and Shirley MacLaine, who I love, was great in that. It was great. But this movie is about someone's like indomitable spirit. It's like a religious experience. They restored this film in, I think, the late 90s. I may be mistaken. And they showed it at Lincoln Plaza. I went to see it. And it was so head and shoulders above anything that was released that year. I was just like, there was nothing even close to it, you know? And I just was like, it was like an epiphany when I saw the movie. And I adore, you know, what it is about, because it reminds me of my mom and a lot of her girlfriends and these women who had this indomitable spirit, you know, dealing with all these crazy men and misogyny and all kinds of things and violence, and they were these forces, you know, they were sort of the glue that kept everything together. And he just captures that. I mean, it's a husband and wife team there, and there's something about it that's just, it's like capturing the genie in the bottle. And I understand why Bob Fosse was obsessed with it. I think he was obsessed with Fellini because he remade 8½, too, when he did all that jazz. And I loved Bob Fosse. I saw a lot of his shows, you know, on Broadway when I was a teenager. And I mean, that's an interesting connection, her and Shirley MacLaine, because she's really a gamine too, Shirley. And but this is it's a great poster because it's got the, you know, the beautiful trees behind it, and I love her outfit. Obviously, she wears a lot of stripes usually in it. And once again, it does this great photo collage, because this is where it almost ends and begins. It begins, because then it goes into flashbacks. And it's very funny. It's very funny. It's something that's full of life. And the score, of course, is by Nino Rota. And it's like, you know, Fellini almost made musicals without people singing. I mean, Amarcord is a musical. This became a musical. You know, he has that in him. And there's just there's a wisdom in his naivete, because sometimes people who have that naivete, they also have an inner strength that people who are pessimistic don't. This is one of many great Kurosawa films, Rashomon, the film that sort of put him on the map, even though he made some very good Drunken Angel, Stray Dog before that, and other films. I'm a huge Kurosawa fan. The dedication that you see his actors give is really awe-inspiring. You see they are serving something greater than themselves. And I think this kind of captures this tremendous energy that's in this film. And, you know, it's truly, I would think if he spoke English, he would be considered on the level of like Brando. You know, he's one of the greatest actors, you know, ever. You know, he is. He's just, and he could do anything. He's able to make changes so quickly that it's miraculous. It's like in 90 seconds, he can do, so many different things, or in a minute, or 30 seconds. So, I was introduced to Kurosawa when I was in graduate school. And when I saw him as Yojimbo, I just was like, oh my God, who is this guy? The way he moves, how he looks, and of course he's working with Kurosawa, I just think this poster kind of just captures the explosion that is Rashomon, a great film and one of the greatest directors. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. I hope you had a good experience. And if you are a poster addict, you should come here, right? And spend as much money as you can. Because once you start, I just want to say something. Once you begin, right, it's hard to stop. I think Scorsese has said, he has so many posters. He said, well, I can't take it with me when I go. You can't take anything with you when you go, but you can leave a great collection to the rest of your family. Actually, my children, or especially my younger son who's into mathematics, he's talking about how much you can get for each poster. So, but yeah, it is, I think one of the things about having a great poster is that you feel close to the experience of that film. I have many, many posters. I have a great Polish poster of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is just a drawing of Charles Laughton. It's a fantastic poster. And that was a film that haunted me, all during my childhood. It's one of the great performances, one of the greatest actors. And every time I see it, it reminds me of me and my brother watching it. And it feels like a friend of the family, and you have this connection beyond the beautiful poster to the film that inspired the poster.